Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Light Up the Darkness. This is episode 9 entitled Nonsense. Now, before we jump in, let's get some ground rules out there. So, they say insanity is doing the same thing the same way and expecting a different outcome. And that's actually one of the reasons why I selected this topic, nonsense. And the reason I called it nonsense and put a hyphen in it, even though I know that nonsense is one word, is because I want you guys to understand that even in the word nonsense, you can find some amount of sense. See, sense is also found in nonsense. So, some things that are nonsense that people try to make sense of is I'm just going to reel off a list of some that I've observed. Now, number one would be for us to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars trying to make our house beautiful in the sense where it has appearance, it has feng shui, it has just that ambiance in it. Spending hundreds and thousands of dollars beautifying your house and not spending money to make sure the house is secure or the house is structurally sound. Another example could be spending all your time and effort gardening and only gardening ornamentals, things that would make your house look more appealing or more attractive, and not using some of that time, energy, and resources to also garden things that you can eat. It's funny that people would actually spend money to garden and plant flowers and then go out to the supermarket or farmers market or wholesale and buy the very same things that they can actually plant at their house. And last but not least, which is one of my favorite, parents putting their children out at age 18. So they say to themselves, okay, you're finished with high school now, you're finished with college now, it's time to go out on your own. Or a better example would be, okay, you're finished with school now, it's time for you to work and contribute towards the bills. Now, I am a very fair person. I believe in principle. Why would you encourage or push someone who is essentially still a child to go out and live on their own at age 18 or 19, whichever age you want to pick? And these persons are essentially children in the sense where they haven't been exposed to that kind of thing and they are being forced. Some are forced, some go willingly, but the ones who are forced, they have to basically figure out how to start paying bills, how to source housing to pay rent, and how to basically manage themselves and balance out financially, while also trying to figure out life and figure out what their next move is, while also trying to start a family or get certain things in place, whether it's a business. How can that be fair? And I know that some persons might say life isn't fair, but think about it. Our job as parents is to give our child the best chance that they need to be successful or to grow in life, right? If you don't give your child the knowledge, the guidance, and the assistance that they need to venture out on their own, how much more successful do you think they'll be when you yourself as the parent you're still trying to figure out things even as an adult? So more a lot of times you would see people, they'll see adults and think adults have everything all figured out. No, that's not the case. Most adults are actually trying to figure out what they're doing while they're doing it. And the reason I bring up this topic is because many persons, they look at life black and white. And I try to be fair where I look at both sides of the story. I try to look at the bigger picture and the implications of what happens whenever we do or say certain things, right? And I'm not talking from experience, I'm talking from observations. And I think it's fair. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Where if I'm a child, right? I'm living with my parents. I finished school. I'm actually working now. This is my first job. I should be basically trying to manage and balance out and have savings, right? Because remember, the end goal is to save up enough money so I can go out, live on my own, no longer live with my parents. Now, I get my first job, I get my first paycheck. My parents look at me and they say, "Oh, you're gonna need to start contributing towards food and bills." Now, mind you, these bills were there before I started working. And nothing is wrong with contributing because each person should play their role and help out and play their part, right? But explain to me how someone who wasn't paying bills before, who got her first job, they're gonna now take up your responsibility as the parent to cover bills, whether it's rent, light bill, water bill, internet bill, cable bill, whatever it may be. They're gonna take up your expenses, and they're also going to take up your responsibilities because you're basically paying their bills. You're basically paying money to live in your parents' house, right? How can you save from that knowing that you're basically starting at a disadvantage? And I know that this might be a little bit different or a little bit off topic, but I want to hear your guys' opinions. Tell me, do you think it makes sense for parents to do this to their children when their aim as parents is to give their children the best chance to go out and have a successful and advantageous life? I think it's counterproductive if parents put that pressure on their children when they should be putting their child in the position where they are more stronger and better able to live on their own or to move out and be on their own. Tell me in the comments below. I would really love to hear your opinions. Have a wonderful day, and remember, live with love, live in harmony, and laugh. Okay? Light up the darkness and be safe and take care.